We're glad to have you.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Hello to everybody.
So nice to see you with no bruises on your face after that film.
No, not for me.
No bruises.
I came out unscathed.
We're so happy to have you here again. Hi. We'll talk a little more about the film when Billy Campbell comes out.
Okay.
That nice, sweet Billy Campbell whom we now hate.
Last night, and she was just like, she doesn't speak any English, she speaks Spanish, and she's like, you. No, like. She was not having him.
In the beginning of the film, when you meet the man you marry, he's terribly sweet and nice, and we're all very happy for you, perfect life. And he keeps saying to you, you're going to be safe. You're going to be safe. So I was wondering, in your life, when did you feel the least safe? When do you feel the most?
The least safe. I don't know.
Maybe when you were little?
I guess when I'm not in control of something.
Yeah, because you like to be in control.
I'm a bit of a perfectionist and stuff like so that kind of makes me crazy.
Yeah.
And when I feel the most safe, well, when I felt the most safe is probably when I was with my father in my life, you know.
Yeah. What about the marriage? Does that make you feel safe?
Yeah, it is definitely a security and a peace that I haven't kind of experienced before.
Nice.
Peace in the middle of all this busyness. Here's my list here. The busiest person I know. 3 upcoming movies, brand new album, a new video, a new restaurant. I'm going to that. New perfume, new home, new clothing line, and a newlywed. Girl, do you sleep?
Yes. I do sleep. Actually, last year while I was filming Enough, I wasn't sleeping as much. I was like doing videos on the weekends, recording and doing all that stuff, and it kind of caught up with me. And I had to, like, I left the set, it was like 5 o'clock, and I went to the director, and I was like, you know what? I started like having palpitations and getting nervous, and I was like, what is wrong with me? I thought something was really wrong. So I went to the doctor, and he was like, you're just tired. You have to. He goes, you're sleep deprived, is basically what it was. So I promised, he was like, you have to promise to do 7 to 8 hours every night, 8 hours preferably. No more caffeine, and kind of put me, and you have to exercise, because exercise is really good for your mind as well as your body, you know what I mean? So I actually do try to get 7 to 8 hours sleep, and I'm pretty good with it, too. It's like I put the lockdown, like Benny, who's my manager, you know, like, that's it. You know I need 8 hours, you know that, and so he's pretty good about it.
What drives you to take on so much in the first place?
I just, you know, I don't do anything. I think people think sometimes that I do things because, you know, people say, oh, this will be good for you or good for your image. It's not that. For me, it's always like I come up with an idea and I get really passionate about it. And then I just have to do it. I just want to do it. And I have good people in my life who help me, and we just do it. Creatively, it's like a passion thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. That's what makes you so successful. And also, I understand since the last time Barbara mentioned that you got married, right?
Yes.
And it was interesting. I was reading that you were capable of keeping the paparazzi away from this wedding. How did you do that?
Well, we were almost. We tried to keep it a secret as long as we can. We didn't even tell the people who were coming to the wedding until a couple of days before where it was. You know, just tried to keep it on lock for a little while, but it was pretty tough. It was pretty tough. We actually had people climbing up the mountain.
Sure.
You know, there was like 4 people that they stopped from like coming up the side of the mountain. It was in Calabasas. It was really beautiful, really beautiful.
That's
day.
hilarious. People trying to climb up the
I
mountain.
was like, come on. We'll release a picture. You don't have to kill yourself. It's not that serious. You know what I mean?
Do you ever wake up in disbelief that all this is happening to you? I mean, you are one of the biggest stars in the world.
Ew. And you're like, well, ew. No, I don't think about it so much in that way. I just really just try to focus on my work and what I do because I really love it. So I just kind of just really think about that and the next project I'm doing and what I'm working on at the time. I keep myself busy, you know.
Well, you know, part of the business of becoming a star is that you start to read stuff about you.
Yes.
As you are very well familiar, you know, all the diva and all.
Yes.
And, you know, this is a wonderful time to, well, maybe this is true, to clear things up. You know, we heard that your dressing room has to have white orchids, white walls, endless supply of Evian water. What's wrong with that? Room temperature only, and you will only sleep in 300 thread count sheets.
You know that these rumors all start in London. They are like very tabloidy over there. So every time I go over there to do press in Europe for like my albums and stuff, they'll come up with the most outrageous things
Have
you
you
can
laughed
think
at
of.
it, or do you get upset?
I do. Well, sometimes I do. Like when I first read it, usually my reaction is like, you
Again,
know.
yeah.
But then I'm like, whatever.
Any
You
part
know.
of this true? Do you even know what 300-count sheets are?
You know, no.
Everybody likes that.
Yeah, but it's not like
whatever you water.
I don't know.
The girl needs to hydrate.
You know, it's probably like the type of thing, it's like when you're going somewhere, you know, like we're going to do press or we're going to do tours or whatever, we're going to do performances, they'll ask you, they'll say, is there anything special that she wants? And you'll say water.
Yeah.
You know, she likes candles.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
You want, you know what I mean? And then that's where the press kind of gets it from, and they like run with it. And they said she needed 7,000 candles, and they had to line up all around the thing, and if not, she won't walk in the room. You know what I mean?
We didn't give you anything today. If we're lucky, we gave you a bottle of water.
I was looking for water upstairs, actually.
No, but it's all part of the package of being a big star, really. Just have to sort of flow with it. Like, for example,
really
at the
get into
Oscars this past year, your hair was the subject of conversation.
my
There's
God.
a picture of you. I mean, I thought it looks adorable.
Thank you.
It was retro, I thought, right?
I liked it. You know, I had seen this picture from a long time ago because I look at a lot of old fashion things because I really love fashion and hair, makeup. I'm a very girly girl, you know. So I had seen this thing and I thought to myself with the dress that I was thinking about that it would go really well. And my hairdresser was just beside me. He was like, I love it. Oh my God, I can't wait to do it. You know? So we go out and we think we're like, you know, so fabulous, you know? And then we get there and he got so much crap for doing that. He's like at the phone call. He's like, no. I was like, I don't care. I don't.
People keep saying you're big. It annoys me when people say you have a big butt. You are the most beautiful little person. What the hell is that about?
But she
Isn't that stupid?
Can we not talk about my butt today?
She had big hair.
I had very big hair, but I liked it. But it was funny because he was like, what should I say? They're all calling and they beat him up. It's so
So now
sad.
you're wearing your hair.
I wear my hair pulled back, or no, I had it out earlier this morning.
And in the film, you have it long. Then you have these wigs. I won't give it all away.
Yes.
You look totally different.
Yeah.
You are as strong and as tough. Right?
Yeah.
So we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the film. We're going to meet the leading man. I used to think he was such a nice man. Co-star of enough, Billy Campbell. We'll come right back.
Lopez, and that was a scene from Enough with her co-star Billy Campbell. On his television show, once and again, he had us all thinking he was the caring, sensitive, perfect guy. But he plays such a convincing, abusive psycho in Enough, it'll have you thinking twice about him. Please welcome our friend Billy Campbell.
It's never ending.
I'll get one too. You know, we know you, and you are such a sweetheart, but you did such an amazing job scaring the crap out of us in this movie.
Can you say that on network TV?
I just did. So what is it that drew you to this role, and how did you prepare for it?
What really drew me to the role is my lady, J-Lo, absolutely. She, and, you know, the possibility to be a bad guy.
Did you enjoy doing it?
Yeah, I had a great time.
It's fun to be bad?
It's, you know, I'd always wondered, because I'd always heard that playing a bad guy was fun than playing a good guy, which I have been doing, you know, endlessly for the last 3 years. And I often wondered why, and now I know. It's because bad people have more options for behavior, you know. You know, good people have to behave well, you know.
But Jennifer, I'm calling you Jennifer because I heard you don't, you know, that you really want to be called Jennifer and not just J-Lo, so there we go.
Whatever you like, it's fine.
Okay, so Jennifer will do. But this is this nice, sweet man who we see on television, and you took a look at him and said, no, I want him to play Mitch. Tell us what happened.
I was at the goal. We were trying to find the right person to play this part. You know, Michael Apted, who was the director, was like, oh, we're thinking about all these people. And I'm like, yeah. And then I went to the Golden Globes. And he was presenting. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know, it was like towards the end of the show. And I was kind of getting bored, I got to tell you. And I was just like, and all of a sudden, here comes Billy. And I'm like, who is that? And they were like, that's Billy Campbell from Once and Again. And I'm like, he is perfect for the role, because he looked like Prince Charming.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's the thing about the role that you needed. Like, you have to believe like he's the perfect husband, the perfect guy, and then when everything hits the fan, you know, it's a big surprise, but it's also great for the plot of the story.
Interesting. Billy, tell us about the first time you met Jennifer.
I don't, you know, I'm afraid to hear these stories.
I'll tell you something.
He came to my house.
I came to her house. I went to meet, you know, J-Lo.
Oh, it was Jennifer at that time, by the way. That album hadn't come out.
The first time I called her J-Lo, she rolled her eyes, and I thought, oh, what am I doing? I went to her house, and I was nervous because, you know, you talk off the rumors. You don't know who's like what. So I was a little nervous. I thought she'd come sweeping down the stairs and snap my head off. Yeah. So yeah, I met her, and of course she was perfectly sweet, but in an attempt to seem, you know, at ease, I at one point found myself on all fours on her carpet playing with her chihuahua, which was licking my face. And she says, careful, he's a licker. And out of my nervousness, I said, it's okay, I'm a licker too. And then, you remember that? Remember that? And I'm thinking, don't look at her. Don't look at her. The hell did I just say?
I remember now.
I was beside myself.
And you gave him the role right then and there. You're in.
But in the movie, you two go at each other, and I heard you did your own stunts. Did you ever worry, Billy, that you were going to hurt her?
I worried that she was going to hurt me. You know, I of course would never want to hurt anyone, but she trained in Krav Maga, and when I saw her, when we started rehearsing, I thought, okay, well, let's keep those things away from me. Those fists.
Did either one of you get hurt?
We both got a little beat up.
Yeah.
You can't help it in those type of scenes. I mean, no matter how well choreographed they are, or how much safety they use, and you have a stunt coordinator, and we had the trainer who trained me on the set as well. Once your adrenaline's going, once they say action, and people start sweating, and all kinds, you can slip. You know what I mean? All kinds of stuff happens. So I think I hurt him one time or two, and then he hurt me too.
With one of those martial art moves here, I understand you actually learned martial arts.
I had to learn Krav Maga.
Okay, now explain that to me. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, show you. It was a year ago. You know, we make these movies and then they come out a year later.
How do you know how to do it?
It was basically, it's a fighting technique where you use the leverage of the person. So it's good with men and women. It kind of levels out the playing field because you use the leverage of their weight and their power
And
against
get that big ring on.
No, it's gouging their eyes out.
Yeah, you got in the movie too. That was kind of the ghetto in me. You know,
I started laughing about that.
But it's like boxing.
You put Vaseline on your face. Now that's a real deal New York girl right there. Okay.
I did. And it was funny because the director was English, Michael Abted, and he was like, what? I told him I wanted to do Vaseline. He totally didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, trust me, people will get it. They'll understand. It will be good.
Yeah, Jennifer, I saw you in the wedding planner, and you must have picked up some tips. Maybe you have some to share with Star's parents. They're getting their vows renewed.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for them?
No, I don't have no advice. They have advice for me, probably.
They make it last, baby.
Yeah, any advice for them? You've been with Chihuahuas now. You must have something to say.
I just, you know, I have no advice. I mean, they can do nothing more, it would seem, than to love each other the way they have
Yes. Do you? Would you think of renewing vows with someone after 20 years or so?
to. I would certainly.
You would.
Right.
But, you know, we talked about, I started saying that 5 years ago, people could not have predicted your success. You have followed your dreams. There are a lot of young women out there looking at you and said, how do you do it? What do you say to yourself?
What do I say to them or myself?
What do you say to them?
I would say that you shouldn't ever, you know, being where I'm from, you know, there's always people to tell you that you can't do things or what you should do. But you should always just follow what your gut and your heart are telling you to do, because that's what I've always done, and it's worked pretty well for me.
I'll say.
Sure.
Well, we congratulate both of you guys on your success and what great chemistry you have, and congratulations on everything. Our thanks to Jennifer Lopez and Billy Campbell. Enough is in theaters right now. We'll be right back.